What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, all right, coming back to Blue Rodeo. Yes, indeed, Blue Rodeo fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Todd Weiler. And Todd wanted to see me react to this song by Blue Rodeo called Hasn't Hit Me Yet. Now, have I heard this song before? Full disclosure, yes, I have. I've done a reaction to this. As a matter of fact, I did a reaction to this just a few months ago back in January. Something really sounded fishy about this when I saw the title. I'm like, this looks familiar. So I went and checked. Now, don't ask me why, okay? I'm not the requester. I have no idea what happened here or why this happened, but Todd Weiler requested this song twice. It's the same song, but it's two separate links. So I don't know. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into here, if I'm being honest, folks. This is a first on the channel where I've had a requester literally request the exact same song twice, but utilizing two different links. So here's the deal. I don't know what I'm getting myself into here. I don't know if this is a studio recording. Oh God, I hope not. Maybe it's another live performance. I have no idea, but I've already done a reaction to the song back in January. If you want to know what I thought about the song, you are more than welcome to go back and check that out. So I'm really hoping this is a live performance. If it's a live performance, I can at least do a reaction to that, and I can base my evaluation of my score on the live performance. Hopefully that's the case. We'll have to wait and see here. I have no notes here as far as what this is, so we're gonna have to just play it by ear and see what happens here. Let's see, this was posted by Blue Rodeo, no surprise there, and the video has 151,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. A link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Hasn't Hit Me Yet, live from Halifax. At least it's live. It does say live, so we can at least evaluate the live score. Now, when I'm doing this and I'm put in this situation, keep in mind the song is a non-factor. So I'm going to be basing my entire evaluation of score on the live performance. And the guys, this has worked both ways in the past. Sometimes the live performances are great. That what's happening on stage visually looks fantastic. And I can give it a great score or even a fantastic score. It's happened before. On the flip side, though, if the live show is, if there's nothing happening, it's not going to get a good score, guys. I'm sorry. It's just not. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how this goes. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Oh, the crowd knows it. I was wondering if he was going to get on the mic and start singing. I mean, here's the thing, and this is going to sound really weird. Part of me actually kind of wishes the whole song had been a sing-along. Like, part of me kind of wishes he had never gone the mic, and he had just stood at the front of the stage, played the guitar, and let the crowd sing the song. Part of me kind of wishes that it would have been unique. It would have been something you don't see every day. I don't know, but there's that part of me that kind of wishes, and then again, there's also the part of me that's like breathing a huge sigh of relief that the full band is now playing, the full band has kicked in, he's gotten on the mic, and now he's taking control, and now he's singing. It's a toss-up. I'm good with either one, honestly. If either direction would have been just fine with me. As long as if you're gonna do the sing-along, commit to it. You know what I mean? If you're gonna make the entire song a sing-along, commit. And whatever you do, don't let the whole band kick in, because the whole band will overpower the audience. If it had just been him, like they were doing for the first 2 minutes, you know, him just kind of strumming. The background, in the background, you got the other musicians very softly and very lightly playing along just to help, you know, guide the audience as to here's where we are, here's where we're going, here comes the pre-chorus, you know. That's perfectly fine, but don't play fully because you'll drown out the crowd. So it looks like we're going to kick in with a full band now. He's on the mic. Everybody's playing, you know, fully at this point, so we're fine. And I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely cool with that. Let's see how this live show goes. My feelings about the song have not changed one bit between this performance and the other performance. I still think the song's good. I still like the song. It's definitely catchy. It's definitely hooky. Keep in mind The song is a non-factor here. Okay, I've already done a reaction to the song. So I cannot take the song into account here. I can't take the songwriting into account. I cannot take the arranging into account. Musicianship sounds fine. It sounds just as good as it did on the other performance. So kind of a wash there. So really it comes down to the visuals. And oh man, I hate being put in this position. I really do. But I have to stay objective and I have to keep things fair and even across the board. Let's go down the list. Let's go down the checklist of things we look for in a live performance. Oh boy, stage presence. Okay, yes, they do have stage presence. They do look like performers. They are acting like performers. So I will give them that. They got stage presence. Stage energy. I really feel like I'm grasping at straws here. I really do. I'm going to give it a check, but it is an extremely weak check. He's moved around the stage. The lead vocalist, he has moved around the stage a little bit. He has moved around from side to side, front to back. He's left his little, 5 foot by 5 foot square, and he has moved around a bit. So I'll give it that. Yes. Okay. But it is a weak check. Stage interaction, 0, zilch, nada. Nobody's interacting with anybody, which is kind of a bummer. Crowd interaction. Yes, luckily, yes. I can give that one a check. And it's getting a full check. The whole beginning, the first 2 minutes, with him leading the sing-along. Now, if he had just stood there and let them sing, while he played, that would not have been good. But there was a number of times where he actually stopped playing and I think he was giving a thumbs up to the crowd and he was mouthing the words and getting them to sing along with them. That is crowd interaction. So I will give that a check, and it's a solid check. So, and that's the big one for me. So that's good. Okay, that's definitely working in their favor. Showmanship. Okay. Well, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, going back to those first 2 minutes, I'll give it the check. He was being in his own way. He was being a showman by leading the crowd, interacting with the crowd, leading them through that sing along part for the whole 2 minutes that he did. Yeah, I'll count that as showmanship. Absolutely. Production, not really. It got the lighting, but I don't think that lighting is really designed with the song in mind. I don't think there's any real pre-programming that's been done for this song when it comes to the light show. So, nah, nothing there. As live shows go, this is kind of neutral, maybe a little higher than neutral. It's all right. It's okay. I'm not going to sit here and blow things out of proportion and go, I'm amazed by this from a live performance standpoint, because I'm really not. But it's not bad. Okay, trust me when I say this. It could be a lot worse, and I'm going to get into that in the review. Trust me, I'm going to get into that. Let's finish this out and we'll get to that review. Yeah, I got the gist. I got the idea. Now, question is, it looks like they're going off stage without taking a bow or anything. So was this the last song of the set, or was this the last song and then they're going to, you know, come back out and do some encores? I don't know. Not sure how that went, but not a bad way. If this was the last song of the set, it's not a bad way to end. Believe it or not, there's quite a bit to talk about. there's quite a bit to talk about. But the funny thing is, very little that we're going to discuss has to do with this live performance. And I know right now people are kind of scratching their heads going, well, if there's not a whole lot to talk about when it comes to the live performance, but you're saying there's a lot to talk about, what are we going to talk about? You'll see. I promise you. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything, and let me make sure I get all my ducks in a row here. And I'll see you in the review. And believe me, we are going to have a discussion about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Blue Rodeo with a live performance of Hasn't Hit Me Yet. This was a request from Todd Weiler. Okay, before I get my score, I just need to reiterate this because people don't always listen to me when the video starts. I've done a reaction to this song already. I did a reaction to this way back in January is when it was released. So I'm not taking the song into account here because I've already done a reaction to the song. And that was, like I said, back in January. You want to know what I thought about the song? Go check out that reaction. This review, this evaluation, and this score is going to be based completely on the live performance itself. The visuals, not the songwriting, okay? I will take how well they played the song into account very slightly, but it's 98% is going to be based on what we saw, not what we heard, okay? So when I give this score, please understand that, all right? Okay, let's get to that score and we'll go from there. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that live performance, I'm going to give it a 6.0. Yep, 6.0. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 6.0. What does that mean? Well, a 6.0 would translate to a pretty good scale rating. So overall, I think the visuals on this live performance, I think overall they were pretty good. It would also get 3 out of 5 stars and a B- letter grade. Yeah, not a C, not a D, a B-. B as in boy. So there you go, 6.0, pretty good scale rating, 3 out of 5 stars and a B- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, I'm basing this completely on the visuals, on the live performance visuals. And I already went down the checkbox. Nothing really, changed or got better. But at the same time, nothing got worse either. So let's take a look here. Stage presence, check. They got stage presence, absolutely. They look like performers. They acted like performers, and they have the stage presence without question. Stage energy, again, I'm going to say it got the check, but it is a weak check. The only person that was really moving around the stage and really creating any stage energy was the lead vocalist. He did move around. He got out of his little 5x5 box and he, stepped up to the front of the stage to lead the crowd in the sing-along part, which was nice. But then as soon as he got back to his microphone, he was pretty much in his little 5x5 box. There were a couple times he did move backwards, a couple times he did move from one side to the other, but he stayed within that 5x5 confined box and, focused on, staying there close to the mic so he could get on the Vox. I get it. I do understand it. But again, looking at it objectively, comparing it to every other live performance I've seen, it is what it is, I'm not trying to be mean about it. I'm just saying it's just very matter-of-factly, this is what he gave us. And I have to work with what I was given. Let's see, next up on the list, stage interaction. No, There was no stage interaction. Nobody came over and interacted with anybody. Everybody stayed in their little designated spots for the most part. So there was no stage interaction, unfortunately. Now, here's the big one. Crowd interaction. And this is really what kept us up in the positives, if I'm being honest here. Without this, we would have been down in the negatives. We would have been down somewhere in the fours. Crowd interaction, check. Big check. Strong check. The first 2 minutes was all crowd interaction, with him coming up to the front of the stage, leading the crowd in the sing-along, whether he was playing with the guitar or standing there giving them the thumbs up while mouthing the words and leading the charge. He took those 2 minutes to really make the crowd feel like they're a part of the show, because they were part of the show. They were singing the song. They were covering the lyrics. So he went above and beyond on that part and leading the charge. So I'm really happy to see that. Thankfully, because like I said, without that, we would have been down in the fours. I guarantee you, maybe even lower. So crowd interaction, check, luckily. Showmanship, again, I'm going to give that one a check. Coming down to the front of the stage, or coming up to the front of the stage, leading them through the sing-along, giving them the thumbs up, really taking charge of the crowd and leading them through it, making the entire experience kind of special for the crowd. Yes, that's showmanship, absolutely. For the first 2 minutes, now after the first 2 minutes were up, kind of like crowd interaction, that was it. That was it. There were a couple times throughout the song that I kind of noticed it looked like he was kind of giving a little nod to the crowd to kind of get them to sing along again, but there was no action actually taken. Nothing that was deliberate. So, but yeah, showmanship, I'll give him that. I'll absolutely give him that. That's another good check there. Production, like I said, there was lighting, but it didn't look to me like the lighting was designed around the song. It just looked like the lighting was just going through, its paces. It wasn't pre-programmed with any thought given to the song. So production's in that, but that's okay. Production's always just kind of been bonus points. It's never really had that big of an impact on the score, unless you're a production-based band. Then your production better be on point. But I don't think these guys are a production-based band. So taking all these things into account, this is how we're ending up at a 6.0. Now, that's all I'm going to say about this performance. Now, here's where things get interesting, and this is where I'm, I got to kind of watch what I say, but at the same time, I'm going to say what I say, and if I offend anybody, sorry, but tough. I've never been one to criticize people for requesting, whatever they're going to request. I've always said, if you want me to react to the exact same song 10 different times, I'll do it. I'll absolutely do it. But this is the first time in the history of the channel that I've had one requester request the exact same song twice in a row. I mean, because they came back to back. There was no other request from Todd Weiler in the queue between these two. This was it. So why he did this, I don't know. Maybe he was going for some sort of a comparison. That's literally the only thing I can think of, is Todd wanted me to somehow, in some roundabout way, compare the two live performances. I'm going to say this in regards to that. Number one, when you do that, you guys are really walking a razor's edge, because it could end badly. And what I mean by that is this. Thank goodness I did the reaction in January 1st. If we had flipped these two reactions, and I had done this reaction in January, and I had done the reaction I did in January now, here's how it would have worked out. I actually pulled up the notes that I have for the reaction in January. I gave that a 7.2. And I'm giving this one a 6.0. I'm going to tell you right now what would have happened if we had switched the two. The one I did right now would have been higher. It would have been significantly higher than the 6.0. It would have been higher than the January one too. It would have been probably around a 7.8, 7.9, possibly. I'm not saying for sure. Possibly up in the 8s. I doubt it, but it might have happened. But on the flip side, if I had done the one in January, if I had done this one now, we would have been down in the 4s, easily 4s, maybe 3s. The live performance was not impressive at all in that performance because there was no audience. If I remember correctly, it was like in studio, like in studio, just live performance for like a radio station or something like that. It would not have ended well. Okay, let me just put it like that. So in a way, it's a good thing that these two came out the way they did, because like I said, if we had switched it, the one in January that would have been moved to now, it would have been a train wreck. But at the same time, the one I did now, if I'd done that in January, oh yeah, it'd be much higher, because we got a live performance in front of a crowd. It looks a lot better. But the way it is the way it is. And luckily, I'm saying luckily because they both ended up in the positives. So I guess in the end, it worked out. But folks, I've always said this, and I will stand. I will die on this hill. You are free to request whatever you want, and if you really want me to react to the same song twice, I'll do it. Usually, it's two different requesters requesting the same song. I understand that. But to have one individual request the exact same song twice, you're taking a huge risk. So, I mean, luckily in this case, it did work out. And honestly, I think in this case, with the two position they were, I think it worked out in the best possible way. So, Odd, you dodged the bullet. But yeah, I mean, it worked out the way it did. But guys, if you want me to react to the same song twice, be careful. And really give thought to the order in which you request them, because it will, I guarantee you, make a huge difference. But in any case, 6.0 for this live performance. I feel that's very appropriate. As far as the song goes, the live performance of the song, I think they did a fine job. Vocals sounded good. The harmony sounded good. Musicianship across the board sounded good, solid. Most impressive thing was I think was the bass playing. The bass player was really active as far as what he was playing and very tasteful. There were a couple of times where I felt like he was up on the neck just a little bit too long, kind of overstayed his welcome. But when he did go back down to fill at the bottom end, it filled out, so it's fine. So yeah, 6.0. I feel good about that score for this performance, and that's where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 6.0, which is a pretty good skill rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B- letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I've spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.